Okay. Okay. ఇది వచ్చింది మధ్యలో. So today's topic is venous drainage of heart. పోవట్లేదు బయటికి, నువ్వు పోవట్లేదు. venous drainage నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్ రావాలి కదా. అట్లా. So venous drainage of heart. About 60% of venous blood of the heart drains into the right atrium via the coronary sinus. So 60% of venous blood of the heart drains into the right atrium via the coronary sinus. The remaining 40% of the blood drains into different chambers of the heart via vena cordis minimi. Vena cordis minimi, small veins, and anterior cardiac vein. This is the way. So vena cordis minimi and anterior cardiac vein are draining the remaining 40% of the blood into different chambers of the heart. Coronary sinus conveys a great part of blood from the area supplied by the left coronary artery, whereas the anterior cardiac veins drain most of the blood supplied by the right coronary artery. So coronary sinus is collecting the blood from the area supplied by the left coronary artery, whereas the anterior cardiac veins are draining the blood supplied by the right coronary artery. The veins which do not join the coronary sinus are as follows. Anterior cardiac veins. These are 3 or 4 in number. Drain the infundibulum conus arteriosus. This is the outlet of the right ventricle and end directly into the right atrium through the foramina minimorum. So this is also draining into the right atrium, and it is draining the infundibulum or conus arteriosus, the outlet part, that is the right ventricle is opening into the pulmonary artery. So that area it is draining and draining into the right atrium, the anterior cardiac vein. 3 or 4 in number. Vena cordis minimi. These veins open in different chambers of the heart through foramina minimorum. The foramina are more numerous in the atrial septum. So vena cordis minimi are very small veins. They open into different chambers of the heart through the foramina minimorum. So the holes are also small. The foramina are more numerous in the atrial septum. So these foramina are more in atrial septum. Sometimes the right marginal vein, instead of joining the small cardiac vein, opens directly into the right atrium. So now here we are showing this one. There is the anterior view, sternocostal surface of the heart, wherein we are seeing mainly the anterior cardiac veins. So anterior cardiac veins. These are the anterior cardiac veins, and this will be draining into the right atrium. This is right atrium and this is left atrium. And then you are seeing the small cardiac vein here, and then you are seeing the great cardiac vein, which is present in the anterior interventricular septum, going up, joining the atrioventricular septum on the left side, and then at the left edge it is going to turn to back side. Of course, here I am showing the right marginal vein, about which we talked. Right marginal vein is going to join the small cardiac vein. So here it is joining small cardiac vein, and sometimes it may directly open to the right atrium. Coronary sinus is a wide venous channel about 2 to 3 centimeters long situated in the posterior part of the atrioventricular groove between the left atrium and left ventricle. The coronary sinus receives about 60% of the venous blood of the heart. So, this is a wide venous channel about 2 to 3 centimeters long, situated in the posterior part of the atrioventricular groove between the left atrium and left ventricle. The coronary sinus receives about 60% of the venous blood of the heart. Of course, it begins in the left part of the atrioventricular groove, where it receives great cardiac vein and then passes downwards and to the right along the posterior part of the atrioventricular groove, accompanied by the anastomosis of the right and left coronary arteries. So it begins in the left part of the atrioventricular groove, where it receives great cardiac vein and then passes downwards and to the right along the posterior part of the atrioventricular groove, accompanied by the anastomosis of right and left coronary arteries. So here we are seeing this coronary sinus is being in the left part of the atrioventricular groove, going downwards and to the right. So this is the left atrium, left ventricle, and going around. So here it is joined by the great cardiac vein, which is present in the anterior aspect in the interventricular septum. And of course, there is the middle cardiac vein joining it in the right end of the coronary sinus, and also we are seeing the small cardiac vein also joining in the right end of the coronary sinus. So coronary sinus is about 2 to 3 centimeters, then extending from the left side of the atrioventricular septum to the right part of the atrioventricular septum. Then it is joined at the beginning by the great cardiac vein and then posterior veins of the left ventricle, and then on the right side it is joined by the small cardiac vein and middle cardiac veins. Finally, the sinus ends in sinus venerum of the right atrium between the opening of the inferior vena cava and right atrioventricular orifice. The opening of sinus is guarded by an incomplete semilunar wall. The opening of sinus is situated in the lower part of the atrial septum. The atrioventricular node lies just above the opening. The coronary sinus receives blood from the ventricular veins during ventricular systole and drains it into the right atrium during atrial systole. So during the ventricular systole, the sinus is receiving blood and it is draining the blood into the right atrium during the atrial systole. So first thing is the sinus ends in the sinus venerum of the right atrium between the opening of the inferior vena cava and atrioventricular orifice. The opening of sinus is guarded by an incomplete semilunar wall called as Thebesian wall. The opening of sinus is situated in the lower part of the atrial septum. The atrioventricular node lies just above the opening, and then of course the coronary sinus receives blood from the ventricular veins during ventricular systole and drains it into the right atrium during the atrial systole. So here we are seeing this is the opening of the coronary sinus, this is the opening of the inferior vena cava, this is the opening of the atrium into the right ventricle. So atrioventricular opening. So in between the opening of the inferior vena cava and opening of the atrioventricular opening, this is guarded by the tricuspid wall here. So in between these two we are having the opening of the coronary sinus, and there is a valve in the lower aspect of this coronary sinus. We are calling it as Thebesian valve. Then this is of course present in the inferior part of the atrial wall. Then we are seeing the AV node just a little above the valve, the opening of the coronary. This is the opening of the coronary sinus. Just above it, we are seeing the AV node. Tributaries. All tributaries of sinus are provided with valves except oblique vein of left atrium. Great cardiac vein. It begins from the apex of the heart, passes upwards along the anterior interventricular groove, and then joins with the coronary sinus after winding round the left border of the heart. It receives left marginal vein close to its termination in coronary sinus. So this great cardiac vein is starting from the apex of the heart and traveling in the anterior interventricular groove and turning to the left, and just at the edge where it is turning to the left marginal vein is joining it, and then it is joining the beginning of this great cardiac vein is joining the beginning of the coronary sinus. Middle cardiac vein. It passes from the apex along the posterior interventricular groove and terminates close to the right end of the sinus. So the great cardiac vein is passing in the anterior interventricular groove, whereas the middle cardiac vein is passing in the posterior interventricular groove. This is the posterior aspect. In the posterior interventricular groove, the middle cardiac vein is starting from the apex and going upwards till it reaches the right end of the coronary sinus. It is joining coronary sinus on the right end. Small cardiac vein. It is situated in the atrioventricular groove between the right atrium and right ventricle and opens at the right end of the sinus. Usually it receives right marginal vein. Okay, this is the small cardiac vein which is present in the right atrioventricular groove, and it is joining the right end of the coronary sinus. It is joined by the right marginal veins. Here, this right marginal vein is joining the small cardiac vein. Posterior vein of the left ventricle. It drains inferior surface of the ventricle and ends in sinus on the left side of the middle cardiac vein. The posterior vein of the left ventricle. The posterior vein of the left ventricle is joining the sinus just to the left of the middle cardiac vein. The posterior vein of the ventricle is joining the lower part of the left ventricle and joining the coronary sinus. Oblique vein of left atrium. It is a small vein which drains posterior surface of the left atrium and joins close to the left end of the sinus. Developmentally, oblique vein is a remnant of left duct of Cuvier. So, oblique vein of left atrium. So here we are showing this. This is the oblique vein of left atrium draining the posterior part of the left atrium and joining the coronary sinus. Developmentally, it is the remnant of left duct of Cuvier. The upper end of the vein is connected by a fibrous thread to the terminal part of the left superior intercostal vein. So the upper end of this vein is connected to the terminal part of the left superior intercostal vein. The fibrous thread lodges in the free margin of the triangular fold of serous pericardium, known as the ligament of all levels of the cardiac venous circulation, on a scale exceeding that of the arteries and amounting to a veritable venous plexus. So there are many cardiac venous anastomosis, cardiac venous circulation, and that is exceeding the anastomosis of the arteries of the coronary arteries. Not only are adjacent veins often connected, but connection also exists between the tributaries of the coronary sinus and those of the anterior cardiac veins. So these anterior cardiac veins are directly draining into the right atrium, whereas this coronary sinus, after collecting, is also opening into the right atrium only. Abundant anastomosis occurs at the apex and its anterior and posterior aspects. Like coronary arteries, Cardiac veins connect with the extracardiac vessels, chiefly the vasovasorum of large vessels continues with the heart. So this can also join the veins of the large artery, the pulmonary artery or the aorta, like that. Development. Development of coronary sinus with obliteration of right umbilical vein and left vitelline vein during 5th week, left sinus or rapidly loses its importance. So in the development of the coronary sinus, the right umbilical vein and the left vitelline vein obliterates during the 5th week. Thereby, the left sinus hall rapidly loses its importance. When the left common cardinal vein is obliterated at 10 weeks, all that remains of left sinus horn is oblique vein of left atrium and coronary sinus. So, oblique vein of left atrium and coronary sinus are the remnants of the left sinus horn. So, the coronary sinus is developed from the left horn and body of sinus venosus. The wall of the coronary sinus is derived from the lower part of right venous wall. So this is in general the overview of the venous drainage. Here this black color is in the posterior aspect and this light color is in the anterior aspect. See, we are having the coronary sinus, the posterior aspect, which is joined by the oblique vein of Marshall. That is from the posterior aspect of the left atrium and left circumflex vein, then the left ventricular veins. Left ventricular veins, both anterior and posterior are there. Then we are having the posterior interventricular vein, otherwise the middle cardiac vein, and anterior interventricular vein. These are in the anterior side, so we light color. Great cardiac vein, and then the small cardiac vein, right side, and short cardiac veins. So all these veins are joining the coronary sinus. Peculiarities. Coronary sinus is encircled by the myocardium and occasionally its posterior surface is overlapped by cardiac muscle from the left atrium. So coronary sinus is encircled by myocardium and occasionally its posterior surface is overlapped by the cardiac muscle from the left atrium. Developmentally, coronary sinus is a part of the heart. In obstruction of minute branch of coronary artery, the regurgitant blood of coronary sinus may irrigate the myocardium according to the Ashton's circulation. So, in some cases where the minute branch of coronary artery is obstructed, the blood that is regurgitated from the coronary sinus may irrigate the myocardium according to the Ashton's circulation. Anomalies of the coronary sinus. An absent coronary sinus is always associated with a persistent left superior vena cava connected to the left atrium. So when there is a persistent left superior vena cava, here the superior vena cava is in right atrium, no? So that is connected to the left atrium, then there is a chance of the coronary sinus absent. A hyperplastic coronary sinus occurs and one or more of the cardiac veins drain directly into the atria. So apart from those veins which are directly draining, that is the anterior cardiac veins, the left marginal vein, venous minimarum, these things, apart from these things, if some of the veins that are draining into the coronary sinus, if they are also open directly into the atria, then this coronary sinus will be automatically hypoplastic, will be of less volume. Atresia or stenosis of the coronary arterium may occur alone or with associated cardiac abnormalities. Sometimes the atresia or stenosis of the coronary arterium, that is opening into the right atrium between the inferior opening of the inferior vena cava and opening of the right atrioventricular valve. So in between these two, the coronary arterium which is present can sometimes become stenosis or atretic, and that is associated with other cardiac abnormalities also. Enlargement of coronary sinus can be divided into two groups, with the left to right shunt, without left to right shunt. So sometimes the coronary sinus can be enlarged because of the left to right shunt, or without this shunt also this can be enlarged. Unroofed coronary sinus. Sometimes the coronary sinus may be without a roof. So these are the few anomalies of the coronary sinus. that are accompanying the other abnormalities of the heart, like the persistent left superior vena cava, wherein the coronary sinus itself is absent, and hypoplastic coronary sinus, wherein the cardiac veins, which are usually draining into the coronary sinus, are directly draining into the atria, and atresia or stenosis of the coronary artery, which is associated with other cardiac abnormalities. These things can also occur. So that almost finishes the class. That's it. And now, again, to have a review, you see the first figure. So here we are showing the anterior aspect, wherein we are having the great cardiac vein. Of course, they are going into the left atrium seats. Then it's the right atrium only. Right ventricular, it is joining the right ventricular part and going to the right atrium. Then right marginal vein. This right marginal vein is going to join the small cardiac vein. See, right marginal vein is joining the small cardiac vein. And then of course it is turning to the posterior aspect where it is joining the coronary sinus. Here we are seeing the posterior aspect of the heart. This is the base of the heart and this is the diaphragmatic view, diaphragmatic part of the heart. And then here we are seeing the coronary sinus starting in the left atrioventricular groove and traveling toward the right atrioventricular groove. And here it is joined by the great cardiac vein, in oblique vein of left atrium from left atrium or oblique vein of the Marshall, and then the posterior vein of the left ventricle, then the middle cardiac vein, small cardiac vein. All these are joining here the posterior aspect, that is the left and right atrioventricular grooves. Now here the opening of the coronary sinus. Coronary sinus is opening into the left atrium on its inferior part, and it is in between the entry of the inferior vena cava and the right atrioventricular valve. A right atrioventricular valve guarded by the tricuspid valve. And then this coronary opening, coronary ostia, is having a valve, the Thebesian valve, and its lower aspect. And then of course we talk about the AV node relation with the coronary sinus. It is just above this coronary opening of the coronary sinus. This is again same thing which we have just seen. So that finishes the class. Thank you. అయిపోయింది బస్. అయిపోయింది. ఆఫ్ చేసేసింది కదా, కింద నుంచి అది మినిమం చేసేసాను. చాలా చిన్న క్లాస్.